Love it.
All right. Welcome back here to the MCG or the WACA or the Gabba or the Adelaide Oval or the SCG. It doesn't matter where you are. We're here with everyone. We thought we'd have a bit of a powwow in lieu of a reschedule. And so it's what are we today in Australia? It's Wednesday, the 12th of June, and we've just had news of this is what's in the news today. We've got the Hunter trial. He's been charged for having a gun in America. Big deal.
Really? Really?
And yeah. And then Biden follows it up with a gun speech.
Oh my God!
And so we've got Ma Rung or Justin there with the 107 impersonation. We've got Dale in the house and Becky O from Truth Seekers gang. So
yeah,
here we are, folks.
Let's get cooking. Yeah, we had SG that had to reschedule due to his little one, so we thought we'll just crank up the chat and wish Dale a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dale in the house.
Oh, happy birthday, Dale.
Cheers, guys. Another year.
Don't show us your face. I mean, Justin, don't show us your face.
No, can't do that.
Hey, let's kick off with this funny video that I found last night. Look at these idiots, would you? Watch this shit.
Here in the swamps of Washington, D.C., Beyonce has decided to throw a Juneteenth party on the White House lawn, and she busted her senile great-uncle out of the old folks' home for the evening. Perplexing turn of events, Steve Urkel has crashed the party in an attempt to give President Potato Head some street cred. Let's observe from a safe distance as Uncle Chester desperately tries to perform a little cultural appropriation. But alas, this hair-sniffing creeper simply cannot keep up with Lizzo and George Jefferson's moves. As the party rages on, Robert De Niro appears on the scene to dance awkwardly beside the White House diversity hire. Careful observation will reveal the sheer genius of America's second-in-command. If you stare long enough, you can see all 67 IQ points written on Kamala's face. Observe this bizarre scene, one cannot help but wonder, how did we get here? Is this some kind of twisted prank, or are these really the leaders of the free world? But at least Joe didn't have any accidents today.
What's with his... Is this a sign, like what he's doing with his hand all the time?
It's ready to shake someone's hand just in case someone approaches him. Got to be on the ready.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Surprising we didn't see the pooping stance.
Yeah, right.
It's been a bit of a theme for him at the moment. Not tripping over, just crapping one in the pants at the time.
So gross.
Mm.
All right. So next on the agenda
Someone
is
sent him
we've
over
got
some adult diapers.
Yeah.
They mustn't have enough in America.
And mind you, if someone craps himself in an adult diaper, it still smells. So Macron copped a huge noseful that day. It's disgusting. Russian ships off the coast of Florida having a standoff with the US and the Canadian ships this morning.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's a big one.
They're a part of a war games, and it's funny that you got Hunter Ordeal, and you got the Russian nuclear submarine, and you can sort of intertwine them with the Cube Post with the hunt for hunt for Red October. So there's a bit of
Mm.
a thing getting around about that at the moment. Q post maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
Interesting to see the delta on that Q post, whether it was for around this time.
Well, it's heating up. I know there's a lot of things going on everywhere. It's a bit hard to keep up.
Oprah is hospitalized with really bad stuff going on in her guts.
Oh, the poor thing.
Yeah. She's doing a Biden,
Maybe
but
it's a
it's
gut
both
punch.
ends. Missing her party drug.
Mm.
Yeah. And also on that front, we've got Madonna has been accused
Who's
of.
Oprah again?
Sorry?
I think Justin's talking to himself. So we've got Madonna here.
Must be,
Okay, robot.
Justin, you're a
yeah,
robot.
just my reception where I am.
Yeah. Yeah, your reception's no
Am I?
good, mate.
Anyway, we've got Madonna accused of child trafficking. Could this be the next big bang for the music industry? I think she's going to overtake the P. Diddy.
Oh, no doubt. What a huge superstar to wake up the world with the child sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the issue that has us all ticking, really, the reason why we all came to this was to protect the children, not only, our own, but, the future of the planet and the ones that can't defend themselves at all. So,
Like my t-shirt says it. Leave the kids alone.
leave them alone. And so this issue is going to shock the world when the people that haven't been paying attention to this movement start seeing this sort of thing. They might realize what's been motivating us for such a long time and realize how we've stood so strongly in this stance that we have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it led us to many other rabbit holes. But Madonna, let's see if she gets actually roped in. Go ahead, Dale. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you got the Trump speech on our Sunday or their Sunday, and he was mentioning all about the trafficking of people on all levels. So, just a lot of things are coming out from that perspective, which is good because that was his promise when he was in house, is that he wants to stop all these trafficking of all sorts of stuff. So, yeah.
And that was the executive order, wasn't it? That he signed as well. Yeah.
Yep.
It's first one.
Yeah.
And also, was it his first one, or maybe it wasn't quite his first, or within his first days? And that executive order fully seizes all assets. So if you've got people like Madonna having their assets seized, that would be quite a haul.
Well, that's probably something what the people and ourselves can keep an eye on the Madonna thing and see what her assets are doing and what's getting reported about her assets. And if we see things going up for sale or repossessed, well, we definitely know what will be going on in the background.
Yeah. And I think they've been slowly trying to drip feed us with the whole Madonna thing, with all of her crazy ass TikToks with her face completely changed and acting like her.
Oh, and her satanic shows, concerts we've been doing recently as well.
And that's the plan, isn't it? They slowly drip feed us and get us ready. Like they said, they can't just blurt it all out there because people will go cray.
What if Madonna is
No, you got muffled there.
Sorry, Justnito.
What if he said, what if
Just-
Madonna's a robot?
Yeah.
to
Just-
suction is
Justino.
more adaptive.
Justino.
Sounding
Uh,
a bit like Biden, mate.
Yeah, you're sounding like he's really sounding like Juanito, isn't he?
Oh, poor Justin. And Juanito, mate, you don't sound like that. That takes us to, if you're talking about the sale, the asset sales, sales of the elite, we're looking at the Rockefeller's house burning today. Or they're saying it's the Rockefeller's house. There's a beautiful looking building in Versailles going up in flames. Now that's not the
Let me share that
first.
one. I'll share that one so people can have a look at that one because that's interesting.
I wonder if it's the one up for sale and they're just doing an insurance job on it, maybe. Maybe to pump up their evil pockets.
What does this tell us if the Rockefellers are selling everything they can? What does that tell you?
Well, it's telling me. Here we go.
There's scaffolding there. So is this another Notre Dame? Not Notre Dame. When you know the scaffolding's already up and
Yeah.
a reno's happening.
And yeah, that's right. The library, wasn't it? Was it the library or what was that one?
It was a church, I'm pretty sure.
Church. That's right. The church that went up. And that was due to something to do with renovations as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was Notre Dame was having a
Yeah,
reno.
it was.
Wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
it?
I know
Yeah.
a lot of these satanic buildings are all been going up in flames, miraculously. Even the couple here of Masonic lodges is going up in flames in Australia. So it's a bit of a theme on that one, isn't it?
And SG mentioned in his last 76 file about the Sandman situation and how connected that is to the Illuminati, and that was the name of one of the buildings that have been blown up. I don't think that was recent though. I think that might have been towards the end of last year, but still lots of gas explosions over in the US, which might be a methodical way of getting rid of things that probably shouldn't be on this world. Who knows?
Have you done a dive into the Sandman at all, Pirate?
Yeah, I did. I don't remember a lot about it. I remember there was something about the owners and who they were connected to, and a web opened up there. Yeah, it might have been a little bit too many sleeps ago for me to remember all of those details. We got Pelosi taking responsibility for the not having National Guard on January 6th, caught on video inside the limo. Have you guys seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one. Can you
Yeah.
look that?
That's she should have organized it going on. So it's a bit of a more disclosure of the Jan 6 corruption. I do know. And did you notice in the Fauci trial last week that one of the Jan 6 people were in the background behind him?
Oh, was that the guy pulling the faces?
Yeah, him.
Oh,
He's one of the accused at Jan 6. So, it's just funny how these are all webbing together.
Yeah. And while you mentioned Fauci, can you play that other one back?
Yeah, yeah.
So Dr. David Martin is making a good point here, and he elaborates on it in a conversation with Man in America, but this needs to be spoken of, and he does it in a few minutes in this clip Beck's about to play.
Hey everybody, the video that we saw yesterday from the House Select Committee was amazing. There were some wonderful questions. There were some great things that were asked. It was a great starting point where a lot of Fauci's accountability needed to be highlighted. But please remember that no one actually made reference to the October 2014 letter from Anthony Fauci's NIAID to UNC Chapel Hill, which specifically authorized the gain-of-function research during the moratorium on the Wuhan Institute of Virology Virus 1, illegally uploaded from servers in China to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill in Ralph Barick's lab, where he weaponized what became COVID-19. Do not forget that for all the celebration that everybody has about Anthony Fauci on the hot seat yesterday, the lie is persisting. And the lie is that it was a China lab leak or a China lab release. This weapon was built in the United States at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. In 2016, they said it was poised for human emergence. They told us it was coming. And in 2019, Wellcome Trust's evil cabal known as the World Health Organization took the step of saying a lethal respiratory pathogen was going to be unleashed on the world so that by September 2020, the world would accept a universal vaccine. Never forget that all of this documented evidence, all of it, is available in the public domain, and the House Select Committee on COVID-19 investigation continues to cover up the fact that this was a U.S.-made weapon, a biological warfare enabling technology, to quote Ralph Barick himself. All of this information is in the public, and all of this information was ignored yesterday by the House Select Committee. And until we actually admit that this was U.S. taxpayer dollars being spent to create a weapon used against the citizens of the United States, until we actually have that investigation, we are no closer to the truth. So do not forget and continue to keep this information in front of everyone that you can. I'm Dave Martin, and thank you once again for keeping this message alive. Take care.
Wow, hey?
Hats off to that legend.
Yeah, 100%.
Dr. David Martin, follow him anywhere you can. Type him into your search bar. Find his content. It's all over the internet. And share it out wide, because Fauci has not been brought to justice. He has been spoken to on softer points, and the smoking gun was not brought up in that hearing, and it needed to be.
I think again it's that drip feed, slowly dripping people so they can release the bigger story, you know, like what they've been doing to us the whole way through. It's very clever the way that they are doing it, but it's also frustrating for those that are awake to see.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the methodical approach, can't you? You can see that it's
100%
being done in a way that's to create less collateral damage, civil war, and just all out crazy people.
Yeah. What else? What else have we got?
Yeah, what else have we got?
Dale, jump in.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of global tensions everywhere at the moment as well. You know, the US and Saudi Arabia is a bit of a hot topic with their petrodollar stuff, and you know, but it's also a bit of a military contract as well. Discussions. You got you were mentioning before about the bombing. Is it Iran bombing, was it?
Israeli went and
Israeli. Yeah.
the Israelis, the IDF let off some more bombs in another country. It wasn't to do with Gaza, and forgive me, I've taken in a little bit too much. Which country was that? Can someone have a quick squizzy, maybe find that for us? But on Israel, we've got the war cabinet minister quit as well. So it looks like Netanyahu is starting to lose favor in amongst his own people, and the ones that would have been backing him up through this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen all of that on your channel. I think did Mendez post that?
Probably.
Just
Yeah.
trying-
Yeah, you might find it there. So the petrodollar coming to an end, good chance that's happened. Dale's brought up a little bit of conjecture that it might be in the mix, but not necessarily finalized. That contract was, as we can see, not renewed. The one between Kissinger and Saudi Arabia, that guarantees the oil is sold in US dollars. So we've got a situation where we've got BRICS in meetings currently doing a de-dollarization process, and no doubt over the next couple of days we will hear at least their progress, or maybe even a finalization on what their approach to it is going to be formally, whether it's a currency that they agree upon, or at least a way of doing it that they agree upon.
Yeah.
I'd say we'll know more over the coming week about that.
Well, we're coming into, BRICS are really starting to take off. You got a lot of nations signing up for their summit coming up in a within a month or two. So you got a lot of nations branching off as well. But when it comes to the BRICS, it screams to me that the Western society and the petrodollar, the US dollar, we're getting close, and we're heading straight for tip of black swan event.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of craziness going on. Definitely leading into the next month, 2 months. It's going to be pretty full on, I think.
Juan was talking about that with Nino. I was listening to that last night on his Nino Corner TV. He done a massive dive into that one. I'll send that over to you, Dale, for you to have a look at, because it was really interesting.
Yeah,
and we got to think, before we sort of, cheer that on, we've got to think that we're militarily aligned to the country that is targeted for this attack. And Justin's just saying now, pay attention to France and the UK, because we've got the next month we've got their elections coming up alongside of Trump's sentencing, and this whole power struggle, not so much of a struggle no more. Sorry, Russia, he's saying. Of course, we're all watching Russia, but this power struggle that is on is looking more and more like the European Union is going to be breaking away, or having some form of nationalization of all of the EU nations, because, well, I don't know what's going to happen here, but when Belgium says we don't want to be in the EU anymore, we need a new place to have the parliament. And so I don't know what that does to the EU. Like, I don't think it necessarily breaks it, or does it break it?
it's the beginning of of them falling apart. As soon as you get a nation what breaks off and claims their own sovereignty, this is the greatest scheme of things. Yeah. This is the start of the collapse of the EU corporation. Then it comes in the question with the whole NATO thing, like where they're going to go with that. How involved are they going to be with NATO and all that kind of stuff. You mentioned in France, Macron, a couple of days ago, he dissolved the French Parliament and called for new elections as well. So there's a lot of things going on globally. It's ironically that we're coming up to the US election as well. So it's just an avalanche of information coming out left, right, and center.
Globalization looks like it's not on favor at the moment. It seems to be everyone's gone nationalist, and that the favor is sort of heading to the own country's sovereignty, which is a win. However, that the overarching power struggle seems to be leading to Russia, China, and the BRICS nations holding a good stable power source.
Well, that's what the BRICS was designed to do. Challenge the US dollar. They're sick of the
it's timely.
Well, yeah, exactly. What was there's reports of the Iraqi Prime Minister has announced recently on television broadcasting that the Iraq dinar would revalue under his government. So there's more indications of financial tension globally, and more indication of sovereignty of their own nation.
And does that lend, because we've still got the Taiwan situation to play out? So are we going to be seeing Taiwan and that region come into the fray whilst all of the the attention's over here, sort of thing? Does China quickly take Taiwan somehow?
Well, you got China doing some military drills around Taiwan a couple of weeks ago. Tension and that kind of stuff. It's ramping up. We know that the US have their fingers into Taiwan. We haven't seen that scenario completely play out. Will that be a quick, swift event? We don't know. Would it drag out like Ukraine and Russia? Because in the end, Taiwan was a part of China many, many, many years ago. They just want their hand back by the end of it, and get the US out of their backyard. When I say US, it's more like deep state kind of influence there. I did read something about an arrest of a naval, I think it was Chinese, a naval personnel got arrested. He went on a boat into Taiwan as well. So there's more tensions there. They've got a captive Taiwan. I was having a look for it now, see if I can find it. But I do recall the other day something about it. Here we go. Iran arrests former Chinese naval captain over illegal speedboat arrival. So wonder what that's about. Maybe a spy or some kind of informant. We just don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Well, what we do know is that it would need to be quite strategic because of the semiconductors and the factories that they've got there. They can't just go and, kinetic warfare sort of take the place, because if they break down those factories, and the Taiwanese don't want to be involved in the leadership, they can just hold the world hostage with the technology that they provide the world. That
Well-
semiconductor factory situation there, I think there's 4 of them, is a big draw card for holding major attack off to a
Well,
certain
you got in US, they've upped their manufacturing of
1 second.
This is
microchips,
true. Who did
microchips
this?
and all that. So, you know,
This
they've been planning this for a long
Pelosi.
time. Yeah.
Pelosi's got heaps of stocks in I think that company's called Nvidia. And I think they passed legislation to fund a whole heap of semiconductor exploration in the US, which would have been insider trading on Pelosi's part years ago.
Yep. When she went there, was it 2 years ago? She flew over there just as the tension with Taiwan and China started up. You know, so there was multiple reasons why she was there.
And that company has a sus logo too.
Oh, just a bit. But you know, we're talking about manufacturing companies. Yeah, I'll always go back to when that microchip shortage was going on 2 years ago. But you know, and you know, you had companies like Ford Company, you know, saying that they can't produce cars because of the microchip shortage and equipment.
Yeah.
But then you saw reports that Ford Company was in overtime, like they were producing, and you know, factory workers were doing overtime, full hours. It was just like a boom for them. What were they manufacturing at that time as well? You know, could they be doing something in the background, getting ready for what's coming to give things to the population? You know, like, you know, there's a lot of talks in the movement about Q phones and med beds and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, but what were they doing? And then if you look in history, you know, Ford in both world wars, they stopped production and started producing military equipment. So there's another perspective, you know, were they pumping out all this new military equipment to get the numbers up? Because they've sent a lot of stuff over to Ukraine over the last year, and a lot of equipment.
And Trump got Kodak to do something. I remember.
Yeah, what was that about?
I looked at Kodak's website the other day trying to find what that might have been. I still don't know. It was during that time when they were looking for the ventilators, I think. And I don't think Kodak would have been building a bunch of ventilators. So anyway, I don't know how I feel about that whole med bed thing. But we'll address it when we see it. But I tell you, I won't be jumping into anything that just anyone made without knowing exactly what's going on and having a darn lot of research done on what it is that is going on inside that chamber before I put my body anywhere near something like that.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
And I would want that message to get out there to everyone, that, you know, you don't just go, just because something's been spoken about in the movement for a long time doesn't necessarily mean that the first one that pops up is going to be something that we should all just jump in. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Are we in for another round? So just check your logic on that one.
Oh, 100%. You know, you got to be thinking outside the box of all possibilities. I'm just having a look in. I've just been sent about the Saudi Arabia petrodollar stuff. I'm seeing a lot of like independents talking about it not going to be renewed. They said no to it. I'm just trying to see if I can find more, you know, public announcement of it. But there is a lot of chat that they aren't going to agree with it now. So that's going to cause a lot of tension in the Middle East, and you know, the US influence over that side of the world.
is a place where you
Shit, sorry. I'm just listening to the video in the background because someone's just sent me something.
Well, we did have Saudi Arabia sort of change face during this time too. So it's not ruled by the type of people that Kissinger were dealing with.
Yeah, and as well, 12 months ago, those nations were publicly speaking about they want the US out. They want their fingers out of their oil. So then that comes into perspective, you know, when Trump talks about that they're going to pump oil again and buff up their dollar. So, you know, how do you do that? Well, you kick them out where they've got their fingers in the fire right now and start pumping it in their own country, which is going to increase their own dollar. You know, we touched on the whole sovereignty of our own nations. Australia's in the same boat when we think of minerals and the mining industries here in Australia.
Wouldn't that be nice to actually be able to use the things that Australia produces for the Australians? There's something novel, you know.
Well, yeah, make manufacturing great again in Australia.
Yeah, well, they are talking about that, but from what I looked into it, you know, there's a lot of regulations around how that plays out, and it's not Aussie enough yet. It's not easy enough too, but like we make our own energy here on the big time. Why are we all paying for it? It's everyone's fuel. Why does certain people get to go, oh, this is my fuel, and then we'll get a kickback off of it that none of us see? Let's have the whole nation with our own fuel, our own iron ore, our own steel, and then wouldn't we not have an energy crisis? Wouldn't we not have a manufacturing issue? The only reason why we have major manufacturing issues right now is to send our manufacturing overseas because of energy prices. Ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's like the gas industry. You know, why do we send it overseas and then we buy it back off of them? You know, including our arm and leg with it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, everyone's got their finger in this pie too in Australia, and I would like to see that stop. I would like to see Australians first with dibs on our resources.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. You know, in the greater scheme of things about nations being sovereign, and that's the only way I can see it in the financial world is, you know, we're going to move to our own securities and commodities and trade on maybe on a gold standard when we talk on the financial side of things.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting month ahead. There is certainly so much happening. It seems like every day now it's all rolling out on a snowball effect.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. Heaps of stuff. Sorry, I really feel like shit today. So
yeah. Do you want to end this?
No. I want to show you this. Has anyone seen this?
Mm-hmm.
Just for some funnies.
Love a good funny.
It's video setting social media on fire. A guy who's the spitting image of President Trump. There's a gentleman in a plaid shirt checking out scratch-off lottery tickets at a gas station convenience store. Look at his face. He's a double for the president. Separated at birth, says one tweet. So who's the mystery lookalike?
I would love to find out who this guy is.
One clue, the first 6 digits of the gas station's phone number on the window. It's a
Oh, here we go.
area code, Northeast Texas. One citizen sleuth thinks it's a gas station in the small town of Dangerfield, Texas. Population 2,460. Here's another clue. He's wearing a U.S. Navy cap. Whoever he sure is Donald's double.
Poor dude. He probably actually is. He probably does actually have a job standing in occasionally for him.
Yeah, he's probably the
he's
Texas double.
Yeah. He's probably,
MU.
yeah, and he's just having a day off.
I wonder if there's any codes though. I wouldn't mind. I might have a look into that. I reckon, they're showing some numbers and stuff. And
Well,
danger.
it's all showing something's maybe some kind of comm going on there.
Yeah.
So every day they talk about the numbers and all that kind of stuff in the US Navy.
Yeah.
Maybe there is something in the background about that.
Yeah, I know you're good with all the codes, Dale. That's why I popped it up. I reckon you'll have some fun with that one.
Send it to me. I'll put it on the to do fun list.
The 93 Club.
Yeah.
Hang on, just send it.
Now, Justinito, what's he saying in the chat here? Because he can't talk, the poor bugger. He's saying about Russia and France with BRICS, and that Dale should know more about it. Go, Dale.
Yeah, well, you get to see a lot of interest over there. Look at the Nord Stream pipeline ordeal. Look at the countries what that affected. So, there's going to be a lot of things happening over in Europe. It's like we look at what's going on over here, but you got to look what's we see what left hand's doing, what's the right hand doing.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of stuff coming out over in Europe direction in the Middle East. We see what over in America with courts and the politics leading up to the election and that kind of stuff. You got the Russia's Navy ship. I know Ukraine, Russia was bit of thing going on there with Poland getting brought up here and there because there's a lot of US equipment going over to Poland to be transferred into Ukraine. So we're right in the middle of the storm. And when I say we're in the middle of the storm, everything's flying around and where's it all going to land? We're going to see a lot of things. But I would say, with Justino bringing up with Russia and France, I wonder if that's got to do why Macron dissolved the parliament and going for a new election kind of thing. I'm not too sure on the whole Russia and France thing, but that's definitely pricked my interest, and I'll have a look into that one.
Yeah, Monkeyworks has put a massive thing up too. I put it on Truth Seekers page, so have a look into it. Watch that one.
Yeah.
Goes for I think over an hour, but he's so detailed in all his information. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you got BRICS, they're operating on mineral standard. So they're transferring through, the gold standard. They back their monies by that. What country wouldn't want to get involved and benefit near the beginning of the transition, to fix their nation up? Because look what happened in France, with the farmers, the ordeal. Their country is being torn apart. They've had a lot of riots and protests over the last couple of months. It's fallen apart. So there needs to be change. And is that change? We'll find out in time.
Yeah, there we go. Justin's just sent this through. Let me get this up. Hang on. Oh, shit. Not having a good day, fellas. Not having a good day.
Oh.
Where is it? Where's the photo gone? Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. Here we go, Dale.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it now. So that's 517 million.
Yeah.
517. 517.
There you go.
FDIC
Some
does
more
not
numbers.
have that much money to cover the amount of banks on the brink there.
517. And what FDIC says 63 lenders on brink of insolvency. That there, have a look. When was that posted? 2nd of June. Oh, a bit behind on that one by FinTech. They're not too bad of a source. That's actually
Keep up.
quite interesting.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean about everything's just coming out left, right, and center. And, you know, and I urge people to focus on what's in front of you too. You know, don't get so overdriven of what's going on in the world. You need to look after yourself, health wise and financially. You know, focus on what's in front of you. And I am seeing a lot of upsetness and, you know, stress in the movement as well. But there's a lot of things. What else you got there, Justine? I know you keep up with a lot of good stuff. Yeah, that's what I was having a look into. So a lot of independent sources are coming out with the same message as well. When it's public for the normies, that's going to be interesting if it does come through.
Yeah.
I think it has. Sort of feels like it's done.
Well, it could be in behind the scenes. Public aren't ready to feel it. Man, there's probably some more things going on in the background with the oil industry as well. There's so many things we need to look into to try and get the bigger perspective of each topic.
We don't necessarily need oil anyway. Sorry, looks like hydrogen's the way to go. Been there, done that. Watched my neighbor die because of it.
Yeah.
You know, that guy made a car that ran on water. Put water in a tank, runs on hydrogen, spits out oxygen. Everyone's happy.
And also that can be reversed as well. Sucks in air and pumps out water.
What a terrible solution for this world. So when we shake these nasty scumbags off our backs, we can start looking after the planet in a big way. And Dr. Greer is going to be in charge of that front. So if you check in with what Dr. Greer is up to at the moment, he is really quite disappointed with what's gone on with the Congress not passing his, what do we call it, the immunity for all of the whistleblowers who are in and still working for places like Raytheon and so on, that are out for, you know, complete disclosure on what the US taxpayers and taxpayers across the world have been paying for their own demise, basically, with these black projects, and a whole bunch of stuff that's been going on in Antarctica. All of that needs to come out in a big way, and Congress needs to grow a pair and protect the whistleblowers so that the full disclosure can come out. However, Greer's got a trick up his sleeve, and I would not be surprised if we see something fun happen on that front too. So keep your eyes on Dr. Martin, Dr. David Martin, and also Dr. Greer. They're both really good sources of information to keep an eye on. And Juanito had to go. He's needs to charge his battery.
See you, Juanito. Also, I found
Just the Juanito. Sorry.
interesting about who was it? The astronaut that died in a plane crash. All these plane crashes. Was he about to? Do you think he might have been about to come out and say some stuff? Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, that even was on film. Circling around a couple of days ago.
Yeah, right.
Have you got that one? Can you find that?
Yeah,
a really interesting one. Not many people are talking about it at all.
It was the pressure getting to him and wanted to come out
Yeah.
with a bit of disclosure, on NASA's corruption.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just all these plane crashes, I think they're the ones to watch. How
Yeah,
about this Pascal Nagati? Let's have a little chat about good old Pascal.
I've just sent the video
Where did you send it?
interview room.
Yeah. I'll play this one first before you jump into some other stuff.
No. Wow, it bounces.
What?
William Anders confirmed dead in plane crash near Seattle. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the video getting around with that news.
Gosh.
What a way to say.
Love to the family and all of that, having to see that happen and
Yeah.
footage being out there. I hope that man, whatever story he had, that the young ones get to pass it on.
And he was
Yeah.
in the 90s
Put it
too,
somewhere.
wasn't he 90?
It
Like,
was definitely of age. He was the gentleman
Okay.
who took the
Yeah.
picture of the blue marble in the dark room for NASA. So he's got some significance there.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have wanted to come out with the truth that it wasn't the picture what was told. Who knows? We'll never know. Maybe it was a setup, a bit like a JFK Jr. ordeal.
maybe,
Make
hey?
it look like it. The camera was there filming at the right time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting one. I think people need to do a, I wouldn't mind doing a deep dive into that one, actually.
Looks like he did a deep dive on himself, frankly. It looks like it just went,
Yeah.
it was aiming down. That plane was headed as if it was, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, and I couldn't hear any kind of misfire or any kind of engine troubles on the plane as well, which is, if you're going to have a crash, you're going to have no engine running, or you'll have a misfire. You can see no smoke.
Yeah.
It's questionable on reasons. Maybe the cable snapped in the wings, and it just didn't have any control. Just don't know. Did it hit a bird in midair?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very questionable, but it's sad to see those events play out for anyone.
Mm.
You wanted to bring up this ex Weffy banker son Schwab.
Where the hell did this guy come from? Like,
Oh, he was this Pascal Najad. He was the son of a banker, and rubbed shoulders with the Schwab, and didn't think very highly of him. Certainly out to get him. He's a Swiss.
Yeah, Swiss banking. Father involved in the early days of the EWF or the WHO, the EWF.
Yeah.
With swabs and all that. Look like the gentleman. He's saying all the right things, but claiming that you're JFK Jr. Well, we'll wait and see on that one. But
Reincarnation of JFK
well,
Jr.
reincarnation.
Oh, JFK. I think it's JFK.
JFK, didn't he say?
Senior.
It's JFK. Yeah.
Weren't
Yeah.
the souls emerged, or oh my gosh,
Yeah.
sorry, mate.
Yeah.
That's
Channeling or something. That's for him, and for us to find out in the long run.
we can't
time-
dismiss
time will
anything. Sounds odd.
Look at the good things he's done. you know, in reality, you know, he's gone after Pfizer.
Yeah.
He's openly coming out and saying a lot of good things. You know, he's having a good old swing at the fight, and he's talking about a lot of disclosure stuff.
He
You know,
is.
he's boosting morale on a lot of deep divers and researchers and theorists. You know, there's nothing really to really, you know, target him at, bar the, you know, the biggest question is the whole JFK ordeal. But you know, it is what it is. That's his thing. But he's out
I
there
just
and he's
worry that
making.
we get people like we get
Yeah,
people
go for
like this in the movement that you know, come out and say all movement stuff, you know, the things that tickle our ears, the things that we
want
like
to hear.
yeah, and then completely goes in another direction to make it look like the whole mob that are in the freedom movement, or you know, the information movement, are nut jobs. When you say something, you know, you go and associate yourself with everyone, and then you turn around and say something a bit wacky. You know, this, you know, I can't judge that he is one way or the other, and I shouldn't, but it's just to be careful of this scenario might be playing out here. Is this man you know, sent in to make us look a bit wacky, and turn some of the newbies off of our movement, because if someone sees someone like that doing the rounds, and all of a sudden, you know, I don't know exactly his quote, but you know, my soul is merged with JFK's, and I am JFK incarnate, and that sort of thing. Well, very personal thing that you can't really prove, but very interesting.
There's just a lot of things that don't add up, and it's sort of, is he here for a distraction, or is he here to say stuff for people to go then research? So
yeah, it's still information that serves a purpose in the end for
100%.
certain people, you know, certain things, you know, prick up the ears of the newbies. Everyone's got different flavors that they like, so he might be one. Have you guys heard of this Ivan E. Raiklin fellow?
Negative.
No.
Or Ivan Raiklin? He's got a deep state list, and he is out for them. He has been showing up a fair bit lately, doing the rounds and discussing the deputizing of sheriffs.
Okay.
And he guarantees a plan of going after the people who need to be brought to justice, and giving them a very, very fair and peaceful arrest, and show them all of the humanity that they don't show us. But he is one to watch as well. Ivan E. Raiklin, Raiklin.
Sounds interesting.
Ex-military, I think.
Yeah.
One to watch.
And we've also got, have you seen all the stuff coming about the Australian water as well?
Experts are calling for
Just
Aussie water's been
The poisoning of
bad
waters.
for ages.
Yeah, but
yeah.
to the Australian health standard, it's fine. Well, any chemical shouldn't be. Yeah, let's have a listen.
our tap water for levels of chemicals considered likely to be cancer-causing. It follows US authorities lowering what they consider to be acceptable and setting new standards.
They're called forever chemicals, thousands of substances under the banner PFAS. And when it comes to drinking water, the US EPA is now proposing a lower acceptable limit.
The US regulatory authorities have said clearly that they do not think there is a safe level of exposure.
They're found in everything from firefighting foam to personal care products, cleaning products and non-stick cookware, and have been linked to cancers and thyroid disease, among other conditions. The Sydney Morning Herald and The Age, owned by Nine, analysed the latest publicly available data from 2011, which suggests 2 of the chemicals have been found at high levels in the drinking water of up to 1.8 million Australians. Among the Sydney suburbs, North Richmond, Quakers Hill, Blacktown, Emu Plains, Liverpool and Campbelltown, along with Newcastle, Bathurst and Wagga Wagga. New South Wales Health says more recent testing shows levels of PFAS chemicals in our tap water are already at or below the new US standards.
I would actually encourage people to drink water. We are very blessed with very safe water, so I have no concerns about the safety and
If
quality.
we're going to listen to that
Meantime,
bitch.
experts say there's no need to panic.
Exactly.
Would be very reassuring, and in fact, I'd be very comfortable to drink water from
I
any
thought he died.
at the current levels.
The National Health and Medical Research Council, which develops our drinking water standards, is currently reviewing values for those PFAS chemicals in our tap water, seeking guidance from around Australia and the world to determine what's acceptable here. The Federal Health Minister has asked for advice on the US developments and the potential to expedite our review. Eddie Meyer.
Watch the water. Yeah, where is that dude? I thought he did pass.
First bird flu, now the water, it says. Yeah, it did is I don't mean to put the juju out there. I thought
Well, did you hear the word forever chemicals? Now that's been a hot topic for the last couple of months with you know, what was the first indication was the prime drink, you know, and what's in these drinks people purchase. And then you got it in cookware and you know the forever chemicals with our kitchen. I recall that, you know, a month or so ago on the news.
Yeah.
So they're bringing a lot of disclosure on chemicals and you know synthetic stuff involved with our every day-to-day living and how it can affect our body. And you wonder why they're going through a big cancer boom at the moment with a lot of people. You know? Jabs, yes, but there's a lot of other reasons behind cancers as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And the bird flu. Oh, you know, Australia, get ready for egg shortages again. And chicken.
it's just only the animals that you need to eat. You know, the cows, the chickens, not the lorikeet. They're not testing that. Are they testing you know, the other birds?
Yeah, well, the birds, native birds and that, you know, you don't hear any reports about any other kind of bird.
And what test are they
chicken.
using? Have they already got the sequence? Is the PCR test being used?
I wouldn't have a clue on how they're testing it.
Well,
No,
isn't this a new thing? How do they know has everyone had the sequence uploaded so that we know exactly what we're dealing with here? And you know, is the PCR test attuned to that now? Because it shows everything,
doesn't it? It adapts to every virus.
Yeah. And what did Carrie Mullis say? The PCR test inventor? This cannot be used as a diagnostic tool.
Was that
if you
Ted?
do as many cycles, you will show anything you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
It played for a laugh,
on.
and they're taking the piss, the media and the system. I put it into the interview room back. Have a listen to this. I had a good old laugh about it. You know, it's just propaganda and just how much more jokes can they keep pushing onto the masses.
So done.
Chocolate lovers are in for a shock with a tree-eating virus threatening the world's supply of the sweet treat. Scientists say there's no quick fix, warning prices are set to continue to rise.
It's the sweet treat the world loves. How often do you eat it?
Like every day.
We devour 7.5 million tonnes of chocolate every year, but our supplies are under threat from a virus spread by insects called mealybugs.
The disease is spreading, it's an epidemic.
Cacao swollen shoot virus disease causes the plant's pods to shrink and die. As a result, reduced supply has caused chocolate prices to soar.
A year ago, the prices were about $2,500 US a tonne. Recently, they've been over $10,000 a tonne.
More than half the world's chocolate comes from Ghana and Ivory Coast in West Africa, but up to 20% of Ghana's crops have been wiped out in recent years. That's around 254 million trees.
The first symptoms are that you see the shoots swelling.
The only option for farmers is to burn them. But there
Here
is
comes the comedy.
An American mathematician has now calculated a way to save current cocoa crops and safely plant new ones by working out the distance farmers need to keep between the trees to stop the virus from spreading. A vaccine to protect plants against also being developed.
Oh my
Christy Mayer, 7 News.
God.
Trees need social distancing and vaccine mandates.
Oh, wow.
Can you get any more fucking stupid? Like, oh.
It's got nothing to do with the fact that the area's had a drought. Anyway.
Yeah, see it. You know, weather manipulation. That's all it is.
Social distancing for trees.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I wonder
can we end
I
on
wonder
that
if Bill,
note? That's
wonder if
a
Bill
winner.
got anything to do with the insects carrying the virus.
Crazy world.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's gold.
We'll
And
cut
let
it.
everyone get some freaking common sense with that. You know, got to start seeing the world through a different set of lenses. This is absolute bullshit. Come on. It's a mathematician working out what's good for trees and viruses as well. I mean, isn't someone like a botany dude that's a botany dude?
That's it. Just like those health experts that were never been names or we saw reports from over the years.
Come on, people. We've got to laugh this one out. We've got to laugh out this avian flu rubbish. We've got to put the memes out there flat out and say, you know, how's your lorikeet looking? You know, is that the one, you know, that's bringing in the bird flu? You know, they're probably, and let's not be complacent either. If I was out there to be an absolute evil mofo, I would probably make us all complacent that, you know, this is nothing. And then it ends up being quite something. So we can't be complacent, but we need to laugh this one out as much as we can. We need to meme it out. We beat monkeypox. They tried that crap on us and we all, you know, started pretending to be monkeys and laughed that one out. So the more we get ahead of these things and put it out there that we're not going to be fooled, the quicker this crap ends.
Crazy, crazy world.
Do not comply. Peacefully, do not participate.
The foolishness is real.
Freeze. You might get a virus. Oh my God. This world's crazy, isn't it? What were you going to say?
How's your lorikeet? Oh.
Dale?
Oh, I was just saying the foolishness is real.
Yeah.
But it's the media do put things out there to mock society. And, you know, when we say mock, I would say it'll get them thinking and questioning kind of level, you know, see if they trigger to something. Because there'll be a lot of triggers coming, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, the vaccines linked to spike in deaths, and I know I've seen social media, definitely like on Facebook, they've put that down as misleading information. It's like, well, you look at the data from back in 21, definitely over in Israel, the most heavily populated, heavily induced vaccine pushed than any nation in the world. Like their death stats were in par with the COVID jab rollout. So and other nations have come forward as well. You know, you got Japan, 2 weeks ago, apologising about the jab to their people, and there's a lot of disclosure coming out, and it's going to be in your face for everyone soon, a bit like what the media did with COVID. So just everyone be grounded and, you know, observe and don't absorb. Definitely the ones that followed and know a lot more, and yeah, just be safe out in public, because there's got to be some upset people who've got nothing to lose if they're on death row.
I got Beck a link there if you'd like to share that in the description box below. It seems to be a darn good link for vaccine remorse. Anyone who's looking for detoxing, there's quite a few different links within it that want to go up against it on the legal front. If you want to detox, hot tips, it's full to the brink of some really great, like it says, post-vaccination resources. I think that's something that should be in there. Just keep scrolling down the page, Beck, quite quick. Oh, have you clicked on one of them? Yeah, here we go. Help and support. Medical resources is in there. Keep scrolling.
Yeah. Scroll.
Yeah. Legal tips. Detox protocols. It's all there.
Wow.
So have a look through that. If you're one of those people that have just woken up and you need some help, we're here to help. No judgment. Okay. The impact was real. We had a really huge campaign to come after everyone. It was a massive job on everyone's mind, and fear was driving that. So there's no judgment here. We are here to help. We are for humanity. If you've done something that you regret, please reach out to people, get the help you need, and don't sit on it. Go and get some D-dimer tests, or those links will tell you what you should be doing. We're really here to support you on that front. We don't want to see another soul lost to this elite cabal death cult.
Yeah, and I'm a massive advocate for the bentonite clay. Love it. And the Nicorette chewy gum as well. I know I was
in there
bad, and I started chewing on the gum, and it does help. Help brain fog.
Yep.
And bentonite clay, just your guts. I thought it really settled my guts, and it's good facial mask too. I use it on my face.
Oh, no wonder you're looking so fancy, girl.
Yeah. But yeah, go all the natural products. And how's Tucker Dust going, Pirate? Let's give Pirate plug.
Oh my goodness. That's a whole nother world for me. It's going great.
Yeah.
It's won an award recently, and I haven't launched it yet. It's just about to launch properly.
Yeah.
But there's some things that I'm finalizing so that I can deal with en masse. So yeah, look out for that on the front. Very soon you'll all know about it once I launch it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going great. Yeah. It's a food seasoning. You put it on everything. Well, put it on avocado, put it on eggs, put it on potatoes. It's a food seasoning. It's yum. And it's got Aussie bush tucker in it.
Aussie bush tucker.
Yeah.
I still got that jingle in my head. But anyway, I'll have to get you to I'll have to send you my details to send me out some so I can promote.
Oh, I gotta get you some.
Forgetting. You told me to send, forgot. But anyway.
Do it. But
All right.
that's a wrap.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Chatting, guys. Sorry, I feel like crap, but anyway, we'll
You've done well.
Hey,
Have a
Rory.
rest.
we'll
Thanks,
see you on Friday
Dale.
with SJ.
Thanks, Justinito, for popping by and showing us your sweet legs and your puppy dog. And I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is out there. Stay safe. Stay logical. Keep that common sense in check. And we'll catch you all soon, hey?
Yep. Ciao, ciao.
Love, love.